Hey, GRPS staff, greetings again from the instructional technology team. Welcome to the Screencastify module here with our distance learning PD. Hopefully, you've been getting through things well, and thanks for being here. Wanted to give you a little bit of an in person experience with the annotation bar. There's a lot of cool tools other than just recording the screen like you see now. That you can add to your Screencastify with to make it a little bit more engaging and a little more easy to follow for the folks that are watching it, in this case, your students, right? Let's take a look now. First of all, you're probably looking at the screen and realizing, wait, there's not a annotation bar visible. That's because on google.com, it's not allowed to be visible. Other websites it is, though. I'll click over to one of my favorite science current event sites, Science News for Students, and you'll see that it pops up down here in the lower left-hand corner. One of the first things that I want to show you is that by default, there are three buttons turned on. That's the pointer, which is what you can see moving around on the screen like normal. You can see that the highlight clicks button is a default button that is turned on. And that button is this here. So if I'm up here by the life link and I click it, you see how that orange, red, coral looking circle appears to call attention to where I am on the screen when I make clicks. This is especially helpful for students needing to follow directions on a website or a web quest or maybe a hyperlinked Google document or something along those lines. If you don't want that to happen, you can just click it down here and turn it off. It's as simple as that. Also down here, preset, because I set it up this way, you can see me in my little embedded webcam down here in the lower right-hand corner. I strongly recommend having the webcam on for teacher to student communication. It just adds that little bit more bit of personality to what you're doing. I know some of us are uncomfortable with having the video recorded. Some of us are self-conscious. I know I am about my voice. And it's late at night right now, and I'm probably not looking my best, but kids, regardless, will appreciate seeing the real you and hearing your real voice, and that's going to be the closest thing you can come to building that relationship and interacting with them in the classroom. So I recommend it. You guys don't need to see me though, so I'm going to click this little video icon down here and turn off that toolbar or that webcam. All you need to do is click it again to turn it back on. Okay. Let's walk through the annotation bar real quick. The obvious one is the X here. Like anything else on your computer, when you click the X, it makes it goes away, go away. It hides it. The big question that folks come up with is, but Mike, I just hit it. I don't know how to get it back. That's as simple as a keyboard shortcut. If you hit the Alt and T key at the same time on your keyboard, it pops back up. That's if you have a Windows machine. If you're driving a Mac, then you're going to hit the Option T key to get that back. So again, you're clicking the X to close the toolbar if you don't want it in your video. If there's something down in the way there that you need to fill out or you need to demonstrate for somebody, and then you can just bring it back with that Alt T or Option T on your keyboard. We've got some pointer options here. You see that the pointer is selected. And when we point and hit the pointer selected, there's three options up here at the top. We already talked about the highlight clicks option. Let's talk about this focus mouse option. When you click this button, the screen is going to dim and you're going to get a nice, cool little focus circle on your mouse. That's handy when you're giving directions for students or anyone else about how to navigate through a site. Maybe you're a teacher and you're reading a passage for your students in a video and you want to follow along with the text that you're reading. This is a great way to do it. You're just following along with your mouse, and that can help some of your English language learners, some of your lower level learners, some beginning readers to follow the text with you while you're reading along at home. Or you can use it just to spotlight any other area of the website that you like. To toggle that back off, you just come over here and hover over the arrow and click on it, and it goes back to normal. The next setting that's available here is the arrow key. Again, highlighting over the arrow pointer key. The next thing is the hide cursor button. What this does is hides the cursor when there's no movement happening. So right now I'm moving my mouse around. It's around the page. People can see it. There's motion occurring. But if I wanted to read this passage here and call attention only to the passage and not have my mouse distracting people, if I just held my mouse still, it automatically disappears for me. That way, there's not a distraction. Kids aren't looking at where the mouse is going. They're following the text, or they're doing the activity that you want them to see, or watching the video that you have on the screen, or whatever the case may be. And the mouse will pick right back up as soon as, or the pointer will pick back up as soon as you move your mouse. To turn that option off again, just come down here to the annotation bar and click that. And now that feature is turned off for us. The next feature on our annotation bar is the pen. And the pen is exactly what it sounds like. You can come down here, and once you click pen, you get an option to select a color. I'm always a big fan of purple. And you can write using your mouse. Most importantly, and I'll turn my video back on for this, if you are a GRPS staff member and you have a Surface Pro and you have the Surface Pro pen, you can write with the pen on your screencast, so you can annotate with your students. Probably the coolest thing about this for me is if you come over to the scroll bar and you scroll, the ink follows the scroll and you don't lose it. So you can annotate on an entire web page here. If you want to walk through a reading or any other kind of a document that you're looking at, you can come on here, you can point, you can talk to the kids about doodle annotation and highlighting and underlining words. You can come down to the pen and you can change your color. Maybe you want to talk to them about highlighting in different colors to highlight different types of text, and just doing that real close and critical reading with the students, utilizing and modeling that with your pen on your Surface Pro with Screencast. One thing that you do need to be aware of is some of you may be familiar with the fact that this pencil typically with the Surface Pro serves as an eraser. In the case of Screencast, it does not. It actually serves still as a pen. In order to erase, you are going to want to go down here to the annotation bar and click the eraser icon. There's two different ways to erase. You can erase just a little bit at a time. In the case of this, I don't want any of this text that I've written on here to stay on here. So I'm going to click the eraser, and you'll see that I've got this blank square over here. And this blank square means wipe the screen. And when we click that, all annotations that we put on the screen are cleared. So maybe you need to redo a screencast, or you goofed up, or you want to do it again for another class. You can just wipe your screen and clear everything away. The last thing that you need to know about down here on the annotation toolbar is if you want to go back to normal pointer, all you need to do is click the pointer. Is you've got a pause, play, and stop button over here on the far left. If you want to pause your screencast, you simply hit that pause button and it pauses what's being recorded on the screen. It'll pick back up when you hit play again and move on from there. Hopefully these annotation tools have helped you out. When you decide you want to stop your screencast, there's a couple different ways to do that. You can hit this pause button, and then there's a stop square that shows up when you're paused. You can come up here to the screencast extension in your Google Chrome browser, and you can hit the stop button there. Or you can take this little toolbar that pops up down at the bottom that says that the screen video recorder is sharing your screen, and you can hit stop sharing there. This, by the way, is movable. You can click it and you can move it around your screen if it's in your way. In fact, if you have a second screen attached to your computer, you can move it right over to that second screen and it's out of your way. But you can hit stop sharing using that, or again, you can hit stop right there at the top. Before I do want to thank you for participating in the module. Hopefully you've learned something new today. As always, we're here to support you. You guys are doing great work taking on the distance learning here for GRPS. Hopefully we can support you in all of that hard work. Helpdeskinfo.grps.org has articles available to you 24/7, 365. You can learn at your own pace. Our help desk is open, helpdesk@grps.org, and then, of course, the 2487 extension. And new for distance learning, and during the distance learning time, we have a support number just for you teaching staff at 819-7960, staffed by our instructional tech team and volunteer teachers just like you, for help with Seesaw, Google Classroom, Screencastify, Microsoft Teams, you name it. We're going to try to be there to help you out through this tough time. So thanks again. Best of luck.